Hello, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Sam and Max Surfin' the Streams. I am one of your hosts, Max Williams, and with me, as it always will be from this point forward, is Sam Richards. How are you, Sam?
I am well.
Excellent. So let's get right to it. Very exciting. The first thing we're going to talk about for our new program here is the first episode of the second season of Star Trek Discovery, Disco, colloquially.
Disco.
Yeah, so what'd you think of that episode of Disco?
That was alright.
It was alright. It was a little bit of a, like a redo, like a reboot, soft reboot.
Soft reboot.
Nobody grew a beard, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, so hopefully somebody gets on that. I could see Stamets pulling off a pretty solid, like, woodsman's beard.
Ooh, yeah, Mountain Man.
Yeah.
That would make sense since he's going through some dark times now.
Yes, exactly. We'll see how long that lasts, though. But, like, overall, I thought that the energy of the show was a little bit more the way we want it to be. Like, it wasn't so oppressive in tone.
True. A little bit more optimistic.
It was a little more optimistic, but it was, like, jam-packed. Like, you do not get a moment to rest. You don't spend any quality time with anybody. We are action beat, information dump, crazy flashback, because we got to start teasing Spock right away.
Alright, but they still find time to throw in a few slow monologues.
Several, yeah, and some more Alice in Wonderland bullshit.
Yeah, don't much like that.
What did you call it earlier? Oh yeah, the Tom King bullshit. Tom King's Batman.
Yeah, Tom King's Batman. That all over again.
So,
well, off the bat,
yes.
I thought they were throwing in a new opening. I thought they redid the opening.
Right, because Michael Burnham starts monologuing over some, like, graphics at the beginning.
Like some old school footage of space stuff.
Yeah, it looked like old satellite footage, basically.
Yeah, basically.
And yeah, she's given this this monologue, and we're sitting there thinking, like, oh, are they doing a next-gen style intro with Picard, style narration?
Nope.
No, they just were doing some random monologue thing, and that would lead us into an extended flashback to young child Michael Burnham meeting her foster brother Spock for the first time.
Yeah.
Spock's a little dick.
Yeah, he is a little dick. Just like working on his hollow puzzles.
His dragon hollow thing.
Yeah.
Which
I made a monster.
he made a monster to scare his new sister with. He knew she was coming.
That was true.
They weren't surprising him with this. So yeah, Spock slams the door in her face, all angry, and they aren't friends at first.
Not friends.
Right, and not anymore in the show, we learn, so it'll be interesting to learn if they ever were friendly with each other.
Oh yeah, maybe they never got along.
That would actually kind of be interesting.
That would be interesting.
If Spock just did not get along with anyone in his family.
Yeah, that'd be alright. After that, we got our Captain Pike.
Captain Pike beams aboard the ship. The Enterprise is damaged. They have no communication until they receive the communication that Pike wants to come aboard. And when we watched this, we were watching it with a friend of ours. As soon as Pike showed up, and throughout the rest of the episode, every time Pike would show up on screen, our buddy couldn't restrain himself from screaming "Big Dick Energy" every time. Big Dick Energy.
Man.
And he's not wrong.
Yeah, no. That's what's going on with Pike.
Like, Pike showed up and was almost as good as when Chris Pine is nailing Kirk. Like, he's managed to find that angle where you could almost buy him appearing on one of the older shows, because he's got a theatricality about the way he's moving about.
The casual theatrics.
Right, right away when Saru holds out his left hand to shake his hand, and he holds out his right hand and stares at Saru until Saru takes the right hand. It's like, yeah, I'm the captain now, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we are led to believe that Spock's going to beam aboard, the science officer. But it turns out that it's this, like, jackass named Connolly who is there only to, like, get killed for mansplaining later in the episode.
Yeah.
And so they can make a joke about how, like, oh, you thought the red shirt was going to die. Oh, it was the blue shirt.
It was the blue shirt. The man.
Speaking of which, let's talk about those uniforms for a second, because even though those Discovery collars are kind of stupid, how good do those uniforms look in comparison, man, to the regular disco uniforms?
Oh man, they're great. Those colors,
Poppin'.
yeah, it really brightens up everything.
Fantastic, and it is totally, once again, breaking any kind of continuity they want to establish with the show and the later shows.
Yeah.
Because what are you doing? What are you
Yeah.
doing? At first, you could kind of understand the disco uniforms as like, oh, this is the step between Enterprise and the original series. Like, they hadn't gone full bright colors, like ambassador clowns to everyone.
Yeah.
You know. But
Makes sense.
no, now it's like it has no meaning. Like the colors are random. It doesn't make sense why Starfleet is using what is established in the original series to be the Enterprise insignia as its general insignia already. Yeah, so it's cool to see the uniforms, but what are you doing, show?
Right, and then to immediately have Pike get out of that uniform and into a disco uniform.
At
It's
the
just,
end,
what are the rules?
Hopefully, we do find out eventually that the disco uniforms are some sort of like special ops science uniforms, since disco was like a black ops science ship.
Yeah.
I mean, in the third episode of the first season, they showed a Section 31 had a presence on board. Because we saw those black badge Starfleet officers when Burnham's walking down the corridor that first time.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, let's see. What else? We get our Orville scene in the elevator with a hilarious alien who looks a little too much like Saru, honestly. It's like if Saru had bug eyes.
Yeah, a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised, in fact, if that was like another concept design they had considered for Saru, and they were like, oh no, we gotta let Doug keep his human eyes, at least, so he can emote properly.
Yeah, like they made it, and then they were like, no.
Right.
I getcha.
And yeah, he sneezes on the jackass. So that's two things that the jackass is there for, to get sneezed on in the comedy scene and then die a horrible death.
Yeah, the comedy elevator.
Yeah, comedy elevator, and it's not that funny.
It's not that funny.
Yeah.
Orville did it better.
Yeah, this episode was 102 minutes long total.
That's a long
Like, I
episode.
think that's including, the intro, last time on, and all that. But still, like, you gotta axe that, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
Stamets is not as cool of a character this season so far.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's he's pretty mopey,
He is mopey.
and it's understandable, but
His husband died.
yeah, compared to how much fun Stamets was in season 1, especially the first half of season 1 before the whole Mirror Universe shindig.
Yeah, it was like the best.
We want to get him back. Like, we gotta get Stamets back, and that's actually one of the reasons why I'm glad they're so heavily foreshadowing that they're gonna get Hugh Culber back somehow.
Right.
Because, like, honestly, I do think that he makes Stamets a better character, weirdly. Not in terms of, like, them interacting, but in terms of, like, Stamets is better when he was around.
Yeah. It makes sense that he would be.
Yeah, I mean, they're a little sappy, like a little overly sappy in their relationship. I mean, Hugh is, especially. Stamets, I guess, isn't so much, even when they were both alive.
Sappy and sassy.
Right, yeah, sassy. Good point. But yeah, hopefully we get Culber back sooner rather than later, if that means that we're going to get Stamets back.
Great.
in
And
good
then
form.
maybe, he could even get promoted and become a chief doctor.
Yeah, because he can't be. Culbert. Yeah, it would be nice to have him at least to get a chief medical officer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what else we got here? Oh yeah, Stamets. The best part about the scene between Tilly and Stamets when they're talking is when Stamets is trying to justify retiring from the Discovery to go and be like a professor.
Yeah.
And he tells her the story about the Cassalians, which is this alien species that has these prima donnas that apparently they train their whole life to hit like a specific note during one of their operas, and then like when they hit, as he says, that what I wrote it down here, that final high E, they draw a dagger from their belt and plunge it into their chest.
Yeah.
And
All right.
what a fucked up alien species. You can't just come up with an alien species that messed up just to throw it in, just to make a weird point about your character. That's not Star Trek.
No.
That's weird.
We had a similar thing in an episode of Next Gen, one of the Luxana Troy episodes, where she likes that dude who's about to turn 60.
Oh, yeah.
And when you turn 60...
Their Logans run them.
Yeah, you die. But yeah, that was a whole episode focused on that, and it was like they didn't see growing old past 60 as having any worth because you've already done everything with your life. They just didn't have any retirement plan.
Right, but
It's not like an artistic thing.
right, and as you said, they devoted an entire episode to it. Whereas this, it's literally just like a throwaway. Like, we want to make up a metaphor.
Right. So we're gonna invent an alien that kills itself.
Yeah, this like, how cool can this species be? If like imagine if okay, Steve Jobs, right, gets that first apple made and plunges a dagger into his chest.
Right. Once you've produced your master work.
Right. Yeah. Nobody gets a chance to do like their next thing. It's what are we doing here? Like, no, thank you. So the outside of the Enterprise has some shutter cameras on it that go click click when it's taking pictures.
Yeah.
Hilarious compared to the other high technology on display here. Digital cameras that we have now in our telephones don't make shutter sounds.
Right. Unless you want them to, because you like it.
Right, which is what the show is doing.
Which is what the show is doing.
All right, so let's kind of, what other beats did I write down here? They go through the weird asteroid field where physics stop making sense, and they discover a Starfleet ship in there that's been lost for months. They thought it was lost during the Klingon War, right?
Yeah.
And so then they have to go down there in pods because shuttles can't go and the ship can't go and they can't beam without putting in some pattern enhancers.
Right. All because these asteroids are, like, I guess, so dense that their gravity is ginormous.
They're dark matter asteroids. We're straight up in Rick and Morty territory now.
Yeah.
So during that plot action sequence is when Jackass gets killed, as mentioned. And has there been anything more J.J. Abrams-y in any of the episodes of Star Trek Discovery than that sequence? That straight up felt like I was watching Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's like Kirk and Khan are rocketing from one ship to another.
Exactly. It's exactly like that scene. They blast out of the ship going down those tunnels. What's with those tunnels?
What's up with those tunnels? So when we were watching it, I don't remember if it was you.
It was me. I said maybe it's they use the turbo lift shafts to launch these.
Which would be really cool because they really should show us how the turbo lifts work.
Right, because the turbo lifts totally don't just go up and down.
Right, they go sideways. And supposedly, even in like Next Gen era, you can tell what direction the turbo lift is moving by the way the lights are going. Although I've never thought to pay attention while watching.
Yeah, I think that you can tell if it's up or down.
They showed us how a replicator works on the inside in the first season. And so it seems like, okay, you did that one thing. Like, make a little theme of it. Like, have a little thing where you show us, like, up close how a piece of tech that was kind of hand-waved away in the earlier series actually works.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right.
That'd be a good choice.
So we get down to the crash ship, and they find like a hospital set up by a crazy, awesome engineer named Jet Reno.
Yeah.
Which is a really comic booky name. I think I like it. And bodies are just machines, so she's just an engineer, but she reads a lot, so she's totally able to like jury rig a lot of weird medical solutions by thinking of people like cars, basically, I think. She's got that one dude's heart, like, outside his body.
Oh, yeah.
Then we get a little rescue mission, getting all those people off the crash ship before the asteroid crap goes crazy.
Yeah.
That works, except Burnham is left behind, as usual.
Yeah.
And she gets knocked out by some debris and has a vision of the crazy or the Red Angel from all the promos, that now also in the opening credit sequence. And Pike rescues her. And then the episode ain't over. I know it sounds like a lot of things have happened, but then we get to have 6 minutes of scooping an asteroid into the shuttle bay of the Enterprise.
Yeah, they have to do some wacky maneuvers.
How do they hold that asteroid made out of dark matter in the shuttle bay safely, Sam?
Well, they have this box, the small
this little box
that they put on the floor of the cargo bay, and then it expands
so much. It expands so much.
Yeah, like 1,000%.
Like Michael Bay Transformer movie physics level here. And I don't mean like the earlier ones. I mean 4, when it was just liquid metal that could make any shape it wanted to be.
Yeah, it just expands into this crazy bit of technology that allows them to, I guess, keep the asteroid suspended
Right.
in the cargo bay. But yeah, it grows like 1,000 times. Like it's magic.
It's weird sci-fi magic.
It's weird sci-fi
what are you
magic.
doing?
Yeah, you got to explain something like that because they should not have that technology to do that. It's like they need a holodeck to create things, or at least replicator.
And they're real.
They don't just grow things.
They're real inconsistent on where they are with the holodeck technology. Because remember in season 1 they had that shooting gallery thing that seemed very much exactly like a holodeck.
Yeah, exactly like a holodeck.
But then they also in this episode had Stamets using one of those like little devices you attach to your temple from that Star Trek Voyager 2-parter where the evil captain of the Equinox would use it to pretend he was in a beach.
Yeah, at the beach.
So, real inconsistent. And I wonder if the writers, when they had Stamets using that, were doing that on purpose and knowing that they were referencing a thing from earlier in Trek, or if they were just like,
Let's have
this is like a Black Mirror thing.
Another piece of technology, this one you plug into your head.
Yeah. So, Enterprise missed the war. We get at the end as a real quick hand-wavy explanation as to why we didn't get them at all during any of the important things happening in Season 1.
Yep.
And to cap off the episode, we're still not done yet. Michael Burnham goes to Spock's room on the Enterprise, right? That's
yeah.
And goes through all this shit like a good sister.
Yeah.
What are you really going through all this shit? Like he ain't dead. Like you've been told like he's on leave.
Right, and she knows things aren't exactly great between them.
Right. Yeah. Going. And she of course discovers his hologram that reveals that he had was it like a drawing he made? Right. It was right. Like he had a vision and he drew the 7 red lights.
Yeah. He created. He had a premonition.
Yeah, we totally skipped over that aspect when Pike comes on board, and the reason he's taking over the ship is to investigate the 7 red lights that appeared in distant corners of the galaxy.
Yeah, he doesn't mention it.
Yeah, well, no, he does when he comes on.
Does
like
he?
they talk about it. They say, "This is what I'm here for." 7
okay.
7 red lights.
Ugh, 7 red lights.
Because that's what you want. Some real like mystical things happening in your Star Trek.
Yeah, which seems like it might take them, all over the place, all over the galaxy.
Yeah. So, that's that was episode 1 of season 2. It was. I would put it in, like, if I was organizing all the episodes into a list, it probably would definitely be in the top half as far as good episodes. It's entertaining to watch.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's not boring.
And, Pike, Mr. Big Dick Energy, adds a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I know we, on previous episodes of our podcast, talked about how much we wish they would just have Saru be captain and be done with it and focus on the crew. But, man, Anson Mount's Pike is like... It's too bad that just like Lorca, we know you aren't lasting more than this season.
Yeah, exactly. Then we'll be on to another one.
And I don't know if the switch out game is going to be beneficial in the long run.
Yeah, we'll just have to find out, I guess.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back shortly with our review of episode 2 of Discovery.
Season 2.
Episode 2 of season 2. And, drop us a line, leave a comment, leave a like. It's really helpful. Hit me up on Twitter if you want to ask us anything. Link in the description. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.
Take it easy.